Hi everybody, so I'm going to do a very quick review of the new Eero Pro 6 mesh Wi-Fi system, which was released just in November 2020. I pre-ordered it, I just received it, and I just want to do a review because I feel like a lot of you might be in the same position I'm in. So I was having terrible luck with the router that came with my regular cable service, which happens to be Optimum. That is this right here, just a standard, standard router that they give you as part of your package. Nothing fancy, but supposed to do the job. Just very slow speeds. If I got anywhere, even somewhat far, even though it was supposed to be a 5 gigahertz network. So I tried a Netgear range extender because I figured that would be the least expensive option to sort of boost the network speed in parts of my house where I had dead spots. That was this guy right here. So this was the Netgear Nighthawk X4 AC 2200. It didn't really work. After about 6 months, it stopped working entirely. Now, I don't know if that's true for all of them, but what I do know is that it creates a separate network, the extender. So if I ever wanted to go on to that network, I would have to switch. Like, say I'm on my phone, I have to go and switch. Okay, I want to be on the extender network instead, which is kind of a pain. And often I just didn't bother doing it. Like I said, I was kind of sick of having very poor Wi-Fi speeds. In my house is only 1,500 square feet. It's not a huge house. So I decided to make an investment in a mesh network system. So here is the Eero Pro 6 setup that I got. It is 3 Eero Pro 6 in this particular bundle that I ordered, but I know that there are other configurations. And I'm going to show you the speeds that I was getting in my bedroom, which was the worst spot. So I'll show that first, and I also want to show you what I'm getting now. So just to let you know how I set up the Eero Pro, I'm here in my house in my office where the actual modem is and my computer is. That's where one of the Eero Pros is. Then I have the second Eero Pro in the living room, which is on the same floor but the other side of the house. And finally, I have the third Eero Pro in the bedroom, which was the dead spot, which is on the second floor directly above the living room. So that's kind of the layout. Each of these Eero Pro 6, I think the system is supposed to cover up to 6,000 square feet, so it's definitely a bit of overkill for my exact arrangement. But like I said, I just was sick of having no internet, and I wanted to future-proof it to a certain extent, which is why I bought the 6, which is a newer Wi-Fi spectrum, I guess. So I'm going to also show what I'm getting now in my bedroom on the Wi-Fi with the Eero Pro 6s. And the other thing that I want to mention is that the reason I like the Pros as opposed to one Pro and then having beacons that are Wi-Fi only, each of the Pros have 2 Ethernet ports on the back. So for important devices, I'm able to, even though it's still Wi-Fi signal, I'm able to hardwire from that Wi-Fi device into the device that I want to be stable. So for example, in the living room, I have an Xbox, which was a big problem in terms of gameplay and installs being really slow. So what I did was I put the Eero Pro 6 in the living room, and then I connected that Eero Pro 6 to the Xbox with an Ethernet cable, and it's made immediate difference. The downloads I'm getting like consistently over 100 megabits per second download on the Xbox, whereas I was getting maybe 30 before, and it would dip down to nothing and then go back up. It was just very inconsistent. And then the gameplay, I haven't had any type of packet loss and things like that. So it's just immediately been a lot better. So I think that's a really important thing to note. If you want if you want a hub that does have a Ethernet port that you can connect certain devices to, this is a really good option for that. So I would definitely recommend this system. It is pricey, but like I said, for me, it was worth the peace of mind of if I don't have to worry about it anymore. There's a cool app on your phone that you use to control the router. So rather than having some buttons or unplugging it, you can restart it on your phone. You can see every device that's connected to all of the different hubs. And you can actually use it as a smart home hub as well, which I'm not doing right now, but I know that that's a big perk. So I definitely would recommend this. Just looking at the speeds I had before and the speeds I have now and the stability, it's exactly the problem that I was having seems to be solved. And I'm just really happy about it. I'm going to put a link in the description for the exact models that I bought. It is an affiliate link, but if you don't want to click that, that's fine too. You can go directly to Amazon, get it yourself. Amazon bought the company, so you're pretty much getting it there if you do get it. But yeah, I know it's kind of a tough decision. There's a few different router mesh systems out there. I know that a lot of people kind of like to research these decisions, and I know I do. And so I figured since I bit the bullet and was kind of an early adopter, I can help somebody else by seeing what the results are and maybe help you make your decision. So thanks.